The exercise files for today's course are located in the video description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Welcome to Microsoft Word Introduction. My name is Mo Jones and I'll be your guide through this course today. Whether you're using Microsoft Word for the first time or whether you use it on a as-need basis, this is the course for you. We'll open Microsoft Word and we'll cover all of the essentials that we need to be able to navigate the interface, create a fully functional Word document, and be able to distribute that document as well. Here's what we'll be covering today. We'll just get started. What is Microsoft Word? What is the components of the interface? How can we add and format text? How can we create and manage lists? How can we use proofing tools to make sure that our document is good to go before we distribute? We also have Module 2, which will cover working with text boxes, working with images and shapes, adjusting page appearance to get it to look how we want it to look, and how we can convert Word to other formats. PDF is a popular format just in case someone does not have a Office 365 subscription. So this is going to be interactive. So you'll have opportunities to pause the video, complete a particular task, and come back and complete it here as well. Go ahead and open up Microsoft Word and come right back and we'll jump right in.
Looking to support our channel and get a great deal? Become a member today to unlock ad-free videos. That's right, your favorite courses without a single ad. Interested in a specific video? Purchase one of our ad-free courses individually. Looking for even more? Gain access to exams, certificates, and exclusive content at LearnitAnytime.com. More information can be found in the video description below.
Welcome back. I went ahead and opened up my Microsoft Word here, and we're presented with the Start screen. And on the Start screen, we can see that we're presented with three big buttons. We have this Home button, we have this New button, we also have this Open button here as well. Basically, this Start screen allows us to do a couple of different things. Basically allows us to find our recent files. It allows us to open files, and it allows us to create something new. So those are the main three features of our Start screen here. So finding recent documents that I've created, finding things like templates here as well. Now, what can we do with Microsoft Word? Well, Microsoft Word is a word processing application, right? So some of the different things that we can do is we can use Microsoft Word to create a calendar. And here's a fully functional calendar right from our template gallery. Not a lot of applications that allow us to create something like this. One of the really popular uses of Microsoft Word is to build a resume. Everything is already kind of pre-made for us. We just need to enter our own information. Another really popular template. We can use Microsoft Word to create certificates. Maybe you want to create a certificate for the employee of the month. We can use that here as well. Many uses. It all depends on your creativity, what you're trying to accomplish. If we want to create a simple order form, we can actually use Microsoft Word to do this as well. As you can see, we can add tables in here. We can add logos, different things of that as well. Also, another popular one is a project task list. Maybe you just want a simple solution to track your projects. So these are just some of the different things that we can do with Microsoft Word. It extends beyond just adding text to your document and adding text formatting. There's a lot of things that we can insert, but I encourage you, go ahead and click on the New tab here. Go ahead and scroll down to the bottom and go ahead and check out some of these templates, some really nice ones here. You can actually search for a template right here, or you can go ahead and narrow it down by clicking on one of these tabs here as well. Go ahead and check some out. Once you find one that you like, it's a matter of clicking on it. And once you click on it, we can see a nice preview of what this actually is. Go ahead and click on Create. This will actually download and open up that template for you. And as you can see, we have a lot of nice information in here, nice headers, nice colors. And we can just simply replace these fields with our own information. Go ahead and explore the template gallery and come right back. Welcome back. Hopefully you had some fun exploring some of those templates. Let's go ahead and create a new document. So right here from the Home tab, we're going to go ahead and click on Blank Document. I'll go ahead and click on here, and here we are. So here is the Microsoft Word interface. We'll notice a couple of things here that we kind of need to discuss. We can see just our main document area here. Right now it's just a blank canvas. Nothing happening there. Down here on the bottom right, we can see some other details. We see a zoom bar, some different views that we can use as well. Up here we have our ribbon. So here are our ribbon tabs: File, Home, Insert. And then we have what's called command groups. So here's our clipboard command group, font command group, paragraph command group, and so forth and so on. Also at the very, very top, we see a really small little icon here. Kind of looks like an underscore with a V on the bottom. That is the quick access toolbar. So we'll take a look at all of these different elements, basic rundown of what we can do with these different components here as well. Let's talk about the ribbon. So here's our ribbon, and this is called the ribbon tab. So this is the Home tab, and on the Home tab, we have specific command groups and specific commands. So the Home tab in all of Microsoft Office products is where you'll find the most used or common commands. So for example, on the Home tab, we have the font command group. And in the font command group, this is where we can do things like change the color of the text. We can highlight text. We can bold the text as well. We have the paragraph command group. So this is where we can adjust the paragraph spacing. We can create a bulleted list if we want to, or a numbered list. We can center align our text. We can add styles. So we have some styles that are pre-programmed, like heading 1 and heading 2. Notice it has that blue color, and it's larger than our other text here as well. We also have the editor over here. That's also can be found in different places, but it's also on the Home tab as a common command here as well. So the way that this works is, based on what you want to accomplish, you would click on one of these tabs. So for example, if I wanted to insert something, I would click on the Insert tab. Now notice from the Insert tab, we have a new list of ribbon items. We have other command groups: pages, tables, illustrations, where we get all the goodies. We can insert pictures, shapes, icons, charts, screenshots, media, headers and footers. So just different things that we can do. If we click on the Design tab, not a lot here, only 2 command groups. We have document formatting, and we have the page background here as well. So this is where we can make universal changes to the entire document. Then on the Layout tab, as expected, we can change the paper size from here. We can change the orientation from portrait to landscape. And then we have other things like references, where we can insert some academic components like a table of contents or a bibliography or table of figures, cross references. We'll cover these as we go throughout our 3 courses here: the introduction, intermediate, and advanced course. Let's take a look at one more. Here's the Review tab. And from here, we can see that we can run our editor and different proofing tools, spelling and grammar. We even have the accessibility checker, which is pretty good here as well. So a lot of things that we can do here from the ribbon. So a lot of times today, you'll hear me say something like, click on the Home tab, head on over to the Styles command group, and go ahead and apply the heading 1 style. So it's a hierarchy. So we have ribbon tab, then we have command group, then we actually have the command. And as long as we understand this, we're well on our way to really understanding how Microsoft Word works and how to insert different features and components there as well. go ahead and play around with the ribbon here. Go ahead and click on different elements and see what's available and come right back. So the ribbon tabs are very, very helpful. One of the really helpful ribbon tabs is the Help tab here. Now, clicking on the Help tab, we can always kind of see what's new in Microsoft Word. We have some opportunities for training here as well. And we also get a really, really nice help feature. So I really like to use the help because maybe I forgot how to use a particular tool. I'll go ahead and click on Help here. And what it does, I can also press F1 to open up the Help tab. It opens up a pane right over here to the right side of my document, which is very, very helpful. I don't necessarily need to go on the internet to look for something. Right here, it loads the library of information from Microsoft. So what if I forgot how to zoom in to my document? I'll just go ahead and type the phrase zoom there and I'll press enter. And it tells me right here, several different ways that I can zoom. So I can go ahead and click on the View tab and select Zoom. So if I click on View, here's the zoom. And I can go ahead and zoom to 100%, or I can zoom maybe 200%. Well, that's really, really big there. Maybe I'll go back to 100%. So really nice way to kind of just get some quick help. Maybe a colleague mentioned something that you're not aware of. Sounds like a really nice feature. No need to go searching the web. Just click on the Help tab, click on Help, do a quick search here, and get the information that you need. Microsoft has done a really good job of providing some quick how-tos. Sometimes you'll even be presented with a quick how-to video in terms of how to perform that particular task. Here's a video actually to zoom in or out. And there we go. So pretty nice feature. Highly encourage you to use that to continue your learning for Microsoft Word. We also have our quick access toolbar. We'll cover this a little later. Once we start adding some text, we'll start to add some of our favorite commands to the quick access toolbar as well. The other thing to mention are just the different types of views that we have. If you take a look on your taskbar down here, right now, there's different views that we can use. So here are the 3 different views. We can also zoom in and out of our document right here as well. Once we start adding some text, we'll zoom in to the level that's just right for you. So right now we are in print layout mode. If I click on reading mode, this will open up the reading mode for me. And then we have the web layout, which uses up more of the canvas here as well. I can also click on the View tab and I have the same options here as well. The only difference is we also get the outline view. So the outline view is a really nice way to kind of get started. Maybe you just want to put a rough outline in here. We can go ahead and do that. We'll cover this a little later. Right now, we're just kind of exploring the interface, seeing what's available. I'm going to go ahead and close the outline view. And that's it. So these are the different components of Microsoft Word. Go ahead and explore. We'll come back. We'll start adding some text here. And then we'll start playing around with some of the font commands and some of the paragraph commands as well. Welcome back. Well, let's go ahead and start adding some text to our Word document. We can see we have the blinking cursor here, which indicating that we can add text exactly at that location. But believe it or not, we don't have to start adding text right here in the very top left corner of our Microsoft Word document. I can double click anywhere in my Word document. For example, down here, just by double clicking, I can go ahead and I can add text right here. But to keep it simple, I will start in that first line. So we do have lines here. We do have line numbers, but we can't see them right now. They're invisible. We can turn those on, but we have line numbers in here that we can use. On the first line, I'll go ahead and just put a quick title here. So I'll say title, and I'll say Word intro. I'll press enter. And so when you press enter, you go to the next line. I'll go ahead and put lesson 1 in here. What did we cover in lesson 1? Well, we covered the start screen. We covered the ribbon. And we covered the help tools. Let's go down to lesson 2. So what will we cover in lesson 2? We'll talk about adding and formatting text. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. So right here, we can kind of pause. We can kind of take a look at some of the attributes of the text that we've entered so far. So take a look at that very first line, right? So I can click anywhere inside of a word and I can see the attributes here. So for example, for my word here, title, I can see it's using the Calibri font type. Font size is 11, right? But what if I wanted to change that? What if I want to make this a little bigger? Well, if you want to select a single word, you can double click. So if I double click, I can select that word. If you want to select an entire line, triple click. So if I click 3 times, 1, 2, 3, it selects the entire line. Notice when I triple clicked, I get a quick mini toolbar here that allows me to make some basic changes. This happens as soon as you select text. Once you click away from it, it goes away. I'll go ahead and do that again. And I'll go ahead and increase the font size. So instead of 11, I'll go to 12. I can also use the increase font size command right here. I'm going to make this 16. It's a title. It should be bigger than the rest of my document. So I'll go ahead and give that 16. I'll change the color as well. I'm going to make that blue. That nice word blue there as well. Now for the rest of my text here, I'm going to do some basic selecting. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight just by holding down the left mouse button and dragging. I'll start from the bottom here. I'll go up. And I want this to be at least 12. And I'm good to go. There's also a lot of empty space on the left and the right. I have a pretty big monitor, so I want to be able to see more of my document. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in just a little more here. I'll click on the plus sign down here, and I'll go to about 120%. This looks really good. This is pretty much where I am comfortable. Go ahead and zoom in to the level of your choice. You can also zoom in by holding down the control key on your keyboard and scrolling up on your mouse. Notice I'm zoomed in to 160. If I hold down the control key and scroll down, I can go back to 120%. Okay, let's add some random text in here. So I'll enter another line after lesson 2. And we'll use a simple command here. We'll use the rand function to just generate some random text so that we can play around with it. We want to be able to use the font commands and some of the paragraph commands in here. So let's talk about some font commands. So let's type equal RAND, open parentheses. Let's go with 2 paragraphs, 3 sentences. In the end, it looks like that. Give me a random 2 paragraphs, 3 sentences each. I'll press the enter key. I give you some random Microsoft text here, and this is perfect. This is what I'll use to insert some of my font commands. So what I want you to do, just highlight. You can either highlight a sentence or a word and just use some of the different font commands. For example, I'll make the first sentence bold. I'll make the next sentence italicized. The third sentence, I'll use the underline. My next sentence here, I'll use the strike through. And we can see just by using those simple font commands, we can change the look and feel of our document. So go ahead and apply some of those different font commands. Use as much as you want to. I'll go ahead and highlight this other sentence here. And let's see. We already took a look at the font commands here. I'll change the font actually. I'll change this to the, why not? I'll go for the Aharoni font. So we can see different fonts have different heights. They have different widths. They have different kind of effects there as well. And here's is change case. So if I click on change case, I can capitalize each word. Look at that. So if this were a title, I'd want to make sure all of the words are capitalized here. I can change everything to uppercase. Or I can just change it to sentence casing so that my first word is capitalized here. So I have a lot of different things that I can use. Or I can make everything lowercase. This will clear all the formatting and put everything back to the default text. And there you go. Right? So that's just the clear all formatting. I call it the eraser there as well. Right? But I'm going to go ahead and give that a blue color, and I'm going to go ahead and capitalize each word here as well. So go ahead and use as many of these font commands as you can. Play around with them, and then we'll come right back. We'll take a look at some paragraph commands. Welcome back. Well, hopefully you were able to take a look at all of the font commands in the font command group. I went ahead and added just a few more. I used the word art here, and I just made my last sentence orange here as well. Well, let's go ahead and use some of the paragraph commands. So right over to the right, we'll take a look at some of the paragraph commands here. We'll focus on this bottom row. And then for the next part of our lesson, we'll focus on the top row here as well. So what about adding and formatting text? I'm going to go ahead and triple click to highlight the entire row. And notice right now it's aligned to the left. So I can either align it to the left, I can align it to the center, or I can align it to the right. I'm going to go ahead and align that to the right. So we can see it's kind of aligned to the right here. I'll go ahead and center align that. And here you go. So when you center align text, it kind of gives the impression that it's kind of the level 1 item for the text below it. So we can go ahead and do that as well. Notice when you hover over these different commands, if a shortcut is available, you will be able to apply that shortcut. So if I want to center align my text, I can press Control E. Control L will align it to the left, and Control R will align it to the right for me as well. So keep your eye on these different shortcuts. If they're available, you can always use them here as well. Very good. So that's the alignment, left, center, or right. Another thing that I can do is adjust the line spacing. So right now, we can see that we have a little bit of space for this paragraph. For each line, there's a specific amount of space in between each of these lines here. So I can either make this larger or I can make it smaller. So if I want to use more of my document, I can maybe get rid of some of that space, or I can go ahead and extend it. Well, that's the line and paragraph spacing command. So we can choose how much space appears between lines of text or between paragraphs. So I'm going to highlight my 2 paragraphs here. And to make things simple, I'm going to go ahead and clear the formatting from there. Put it back to normal. I'll increase the size to 12. And I just want to go ahead and apply a paragraph command. So here's the paragraph command. If you click on there, you have a few options. This is called single space or 1.0, 1.15. So as we can see, as I go down the list here, the space between each line is increasing. So unless you have some specific instructions to use a particular line spacing, you can stick to the default here as well. I'll go to 1.15. And one of the things that really affects the line spacing, on the bottom, it says remove space after paragraph. And as you can see, that kind of gives us a lot more room here as well. So if I click on remove space after paragraph, we can see the space that was in here has pretty much been reduced to a single line here as well. Now, as you can see, that only affects the chunk of text that I've selected. Notice the rest of my document, the paragraph spacing has not changed. So I have 2 options. I can either select all of the content on my document here, if you press Control A on your keyboard, that selects everything. Every page, every line, every sentence, every word, every paragraph. And here I can go ahead and apply the paragraph spacing to the entire document if I want to. The other way is to click on the Design tab. We'll discuss this a little later. The Design tab is where we can establish the document formatting for the entire document. So if I wanted the paragraph spacing to be established, it's a good thing to do before you start your document is to establish the line spacing that you want. And this way, as you add content, it automatically adjusts to that particular line spacing. We'll cover that later when we talk about design. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and break up my sentences here. So I'll just place my cursor after the period right before my next sentence and press enter. This pushes the sentence down to the next line. And that looks pretty good. I'll go down here. So I just want each sentence to be on its own line. Because what I want to do next, I want to go ahead and take a look at these two commands here, the shading and the border. So some other paragraph commands. I will highlight this line that says adding and formatting text. And I want to use a shading. So this will change the color behind the selected text. And as I just I can get a nice preview here of what that would look like. I'm going to go with a really light orange color here. And there you go. So automatically it just makes that text stand out. Call it something to attention, or you're introducing another section of your document. I'm going to go ahead and add a border around that. So I can add a border on the bottom, a top border, left, to the right. Well, I want outside borders. And look at that. So our document is starting to look really nice. We have some color in here, and we have a shade and a border here as well. Right. So go ahead and use that. Go ahead and apply some of these different paragraph commands on that bottom line here to different sentences. Actually, I'll go to this one here. I'll give this one a bottom border. And I'll give this another color here as well. Go with that color. All right, so there we go. So pretty nice. Go ahead and check out those different paragraph commands and come right back and we'll start taking a look at some of the other paragraph commands. Welcome back. Okay, our document is starting to grow here. So we're able to add and format some text using font commands, and we're able to use some paragraph commands as well. Next thing we want to talk about is styles. So I'm going to go ahead and add styles here. So we have two options when we're designing our document. We can either manually choose our font size and color, or we can go ahead and use what's called a style. Now these styles can be found right here on the Home tab, and we have our styles command group. There's different styles that we can see. Now what's really nice is if you highlight a chunk of text, we can get a preview to see what these styles are. So here's normal. This is no spacing, so notice how it just tightens up those lines for us. Here's the heading 1. So the heading 1 comes with a nice big font, blue. Here's heading 2, a little smaller. Here's the title style, right? So really, really big there. We have subtitle. We have subtle emphasis. We have emphasis. We have intense emphasis. We have strong. So all of these styles, they're meant to call attention to a particular place in your document, or maybe to even introduce another section of your document as well. Here's a quote. So it centers the lines, the text for us. So these are all pre-made. Here's the subtle reference, so everything is capitalized. We have the intense reference, which I use a lot. This kind of always use this to kind of introduce another section of my document. And we have book title and list paragraph. So to keep this simple, I'm going to go ahead and apply the title style to our title. So I'll highlight my title here and I'll give this the title style. For each of my lessons, lesson 1, this is going to be a heading 1. So I'll go ahead and give this a heading 1. So these heading 1s, they're very similar to the headings that we see on web pages. Right? Notice web pages, we always have a heading followed by a body of text. Here's lesson 2. I'll go ahead and give that the heading 1 style as well. Right? So those are just some quick styles here. For lesson 1, I'll go ahead and highlight that, and I'll give this maybe the intense reference. This describes what we're discussing. Maybe I'll give this strong, actually. I'll give that strong. Right. And then for lesson 2, I'll go ahead and make that strong as well. I'll put this back over here, and I'll get rid of the border and the shade color behind it. Right. So now we can see more of a structure. Our title is clear. We have our 2 headings for our first 2 lessons. Those are clear as well. And now it's your turn. Go ahead and apply some different styles to your document. Okay? You can either just apply a style to a particular word, or you can give it to a chunk of text, a sentence, paragraph, right? Whatever you want to do, you can go ahead and use that as well. I'll go ahead and grab the second line here, this other sentence rather, and I'll give this the intense emphasis. And there we go. So all these styles, they have their own formatting. If I were to right click here on intense emphasis, here are some of the attributes. So it comes with its own font color, accent style, right? So they all have their own particular formatting in here as well. So quickly enables us to style up our document as well. Now there's one more thing when it comes to using styles. Right? So we can use an existing style, like I said, or maybe you did apply some specific formatting to a chunk of text. So I'll grab this first line here. I'm going to make this bold. I'll give this the Georgia font, and I'll make this orange. Right? I'll also make it italicized. Now, what if I wanted to do the same thing to this sentence here? Well, instead of highlighting that and giving it, and making it bold, italics, giving it the Georgia font and making it orange, what I can do is copy the formatting from this chunk of text and apply it to this one. And that is called the Format Painter. I'll put this right here. This really comes in handy when it comes to just repeating formatting. The Format Painter can be found right here on the Home tab in the Clipboard command group. This little paintbrush here. And if you hover over it, it tells you exactly what it does. It's a 3-step process. You select the content with the formatting that you like, and then you click on the Format Painter. So that pretty much loads all that formatting onto the paintbrush. And then step 3, go ahead and brush or highlight the chunk of text that you want to apply that formatting to, and that should work. So let's try that. I'll go ahead and highlight my sentence here with the Georgia font, bold, italics, and orange color. I'll click on the paintbrush here. Here's my little paintbrush, I can see it. And I'm going to go ahead and highlight this sentence, and let's see what happens. And there we go. So we just copied the same formatting from one chunk of text to the next as well. So that is the Format Painter. Really nice tool to help you design and style your document. Go ahead and have fun, play around with some of the styles here. Feel free to reset or clear all the formatting if we need to go ahead and keep things simple here as well, and come right back. Let's continue with some of our other paragraph commands. Okay. And more specifically, let's go ahead and take a look at the paragraph commands at the top line here. We're going to go ahead and insert a bulleted list. And we'll take a look at the different types of lists that we can create here as well. So let's go ahead. I'll add a line down here and I'll put lesson 3. And I'll scroll down just a little bit. Now for lesson 3, we're going to insert a bulleted list. There's 2 ways that you can create a bulleted list: from existing text, or what you can do is you can go ahead and insert list and add text to it as well. So that's what we'll discuss here. Now for lesson 3, I'm going to go ahead and give it the same heading 1 style to keep it consistent. So I'll click on lesson 3 here. I'll give it the heading 1 style. And here we go. Now under lesson 3, here are the topics that we want to discuss. Inserting a bulleted list either from an existing text or inserting a list and adding text. So I'm trying to communicate that under lesson 3, these are the objectives here, but they're all kind of on the same level here. So what I want to do is insert or convert this text into a bulleted list, so we can clearly see that they are sub-items of lesson 3. So go ahead and highlight these here. After I highlight this, I'm going to go ahead and head on over to my bulleted list here. I can either choose the default bullets, or I can click on this drop down arrow here to choose a type of bullets that I want. We can always change it later. For now, I'll just click on the bulleted list. And as you can see, it creates that bulleted list for me. And now I can more clearly communicate that lesson 3 involves bulleted lists from existing text and inserting list and adding text. If you want to change that, you can click on the drop down here. Maybe you want arrows instead. Maybe you want check marks or hollow squares or some funny, not sure what that is. Never knew what that was. Never used it. But if you want to use it, it's up to you. We have another one here. We have stars. I'll go with the hollow square here. Makes it look like a little checklist. So these are all level 1 items, bulleted list. But what I want is my bulleted list here. It's going to be a level 1 item. And then from existing text and inserting list and adding text, these are level 2. So I want a little hierarchy here as well. So what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and highlight these 2 down here on the bottom. And I'm just going to go ahead and push them over to the right. Now to do that, I need to use the little arrow here that says increase indent. So by doing that, that's going to demote this from a level 1 to a level 2. Well, let's click and see what happens. There we go. So now we can see it's really ordered here. Lesson 3 consists of working with bulleted list. More specifically, either from existing text or from inserting a list and adding text. So there we go. Simple list here. Now I'm going to go ahead and press enter. I want to go ahead and demonstrate how we can insert a list and then add text. So I'll press enter. Notice when you press enter, it wants to continue the list, which is the default behavior of Microsoft Word. Every line wants to continue the formatting from the line above. So to break away from that, I need to go ahead and press the enter key again. Now I'm back to level 1. I'll press the enter key one more time. So just keep pressing enter until you break away from the actual list right there. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and insert another bulleted list. Or maybe I'll insert a numbered list this time. If I click on the drop down, I can go ahead and choose a type of list that I want ahead of time. So here's a numbered list with a period, parentheses, Roman numerals, capital letters, lowercase letters with a parentheses. Well, I just want a simple one here. So I'll click on the number and I'll just call this my shopping list. And I'll press enter. my shopping list. I just want some simple items here. So I want milk, eggs, bread, and I want some orange juice. Okay. Now remember, this is my shopping list. So I want these items to be moved over to level 2. Right? They should not be level 1. So I'll highlight them, and then I'll just move them over just like that. So here's my shopping list, and here are my sub items. Item A is milk, B is eggs, C is bread, D is orange juice. Those are simple ways to create a list, either from existing text, or you can insert your list and then add your text here as well. So go ahead and create 2 lists. You can actually use the same content. You can make a shopping list and then convert it to a bulleted or a numbered list. Go down a few lines and insert another list and then add your text as well. Right? Remember to use the increase or decrease indent to kind of manage your list there as well, and come right back. Now that we're able to build 2 lists, sometimes it's necessary to manage a list. So we'll just take a look at some simple management that we can do here. One of the things that we can do is we can sort a list. So what if we wanted to sort our shopping list here so that bread appears first and then eggs and then so forth and so on. Well, what I can do is I can highlight the items that I want to sort in my list. So that's kind of step 1 here. And after I do that, you'll notice we have the sort command right here in the paragraph command group. So I'll go ahead and click there. And I get this dialog box here, this sort text dialog. And it basically asks me, how do I want to sort this list? A to Z or Z to A. It's asking me if I have a header row or if I don't have a header row. I'll go ahead and press OK, and let's see what happens. So as you can see, it sorted my list in alphabetical order. I have bread, eggs, milk, and I also have orange juice. If I wanted to highlight my entire list and then sort, then I would need to indicate that I have a header row. If I don't have a header row, it's going to move my shopping list item, which is what I don't want to do. I'm going to go ahead and undo that. I'll press Control Z, or I'll undo to undo my last task here. Right. So I have 2 options. I can either just sort based on what I have selected, or I can select the entire list. I just need to indicate that I have a header row. So my header row basically is that level 1 item, my shopping list. I want to make sure that this does not move, so I'll leave that turned on here. I'll go ahead and press OK, and I'm good to go. So that's how we sort a list. But what if I wanted to go ahead and expand this list here? So what if I wanted to add a section for breakfast items, one for dinner items? Well, what I would do is I would come right here. I'll just add another line after shopping list, and I'll put breakfast items. But remember, breakfast is going to be a level 2 item. So I'll go ahead and move that over. So this is where managing the list comes in. And managing the list basically involves either decreasing or increasing the indent for a particular line or particular chunk of text. So basically, shopping list is level 1. My breakfast is going to be level 2. My breakfast items, bread, eggs, milk, and orange juice, will be level 3. So I want to push those over to level 3. So here is a 3-level list. My shopping list is level 1. My breakfast is level 2. And then my breakfast items is level 3. So we have 3 levels in here. Well, I want another level for my dinner items. So after orange juice, I'll press enter and I'll type dinner in here. But remember, dinner is going to be on the same level as breakfast. So I need to move this over. So I need to decrease the indent this time. So I'll do that. Now my list is looking pretty good. Breakfast. And now I can enter my dinner items. I'll press enter. And for dinner, I want salmon, asparagus, and maybe some wild rice. But I want these to be level 3. So again, I'll go ahead and move these over to level 3. Increase the indent, and there we go. So here is our shopping list. Level 1, level 2, level 3. And that's how we manage our lists. Right? If I highlight my entire list, I can move it closer to the margin here on the left. If I move it all together, it does not change the levels, it just changes the orientation on the actual document. So I want this to be aligned as far to the left as possible. Finally, I'll make my shopping list stand out. I'll make that bold, and I'll give that a shade. So I'll give it a basic shade here. For breakfast, I'll make that italicized and blue, make it stand out. Dinner, same thing, italicized and blue. So here's my little shopping list here that I can go ahead and use as well. Right. Let's see if I can remove the bullet from my shopping list here. Maybe I don't want that to happen. Maybe I just want the list to be indicated down here as well. So I can either add a bullet to that shopping list or I can remove it here. Right. I'll leave it. I'm good to go. So go ahead and expand your list. Go ahead and add 2 more tiers. Go ahead and add breakfast and dinner. And make sure that you have 3 levels for your lists. And come right back and we'll move on to lesson 4. Well, believe it or not, we've covered a lot so far. We're able to add some text, use some styles, build a list of items, manage a list, able to kind of just make our document look a little more alive here. So what we'll do here in lesson 4, we want to go ahead and make sure that we save our work. And then we'll take a look at the spelling and grammar just to make sure that everything is okay. So again, I want to go ahead and add another line to introduce lesson 4. So remember, if I press enter, I'm still working on this list. I need to press enter a few times to break away from that list. So now I'm broken away from the list. I'll go ahead and add lesson 4. And lesson 4 is going to be all about checking spelling and grammar. And once we've done that, we want to go ahead and save our document. So we'll take a look at different ways that we can save our document here as well. I'll give lesson 4 the heading 1 style to keep it consistent. And I'll go ahead and convert our 2 objectives here into a bulleted list. There we go. And we're good to go as well. Okay, so when it comes to checking spelling and grammar, there's a couple of different things that we can do. We need to click on the Review tab. Actually, we don't have to. Remember, on the Home tab, we now have the editor right here. So we could run it from there. But let's click on the Review tab. Let's visit another tab here. We've been on the Home tab quite a bit. And here is the editor. So to check spelling and grammar, there's a couple of different things that you can do. We can actually use the shortcut. So we can press F7, and that will actually run it for us. Or we can go to the Review tab and then click on the editor or spelling and grammar. Editor is a newer tool, so we'll go ahead and use that here as well. So the editor is a really nice tool. Not only does it check for spelling corrections, it also helps us to improve our writing. So if we're not being concise enough, we can add some more context to what we're trying to communicate. The editor will provide us opportunities to improve our word selection. So I'll click on the editor here, or I can press F7. Opens a pane over here on the right, you can see. And we can see that we have a score. So right now I'm at 83%. So I know that something is wrong here. It's giving me a couple of corrections. It's telling me that I have 4 grammar corrections that I need to make. So let's see what that's all about. If I scroll down, we have refinements. So clarity, conciseness, formality. So it's checking for all of these different refinements here as well. So the way this works is it does the work for us. We simply need to click on the corrections and it's going to highlight the first correction. So basically it's telling me that I'm missing a punctuation mark. Didn't add the period here, so I'll go ahead and do that. So that takes care of that. The next one here says I need to double check my capitalization. So typically we don't capitalize the letter A in a title. So I'll go ahead and change that to a lowercase a. So as you can see, it's pretty intuitive. It's pretty robust. Not sure why it's always asking for a period after my text, but that's fine. I'll go ahead and add a text here. Not really writing sentences, just kind of writing just short, tasks here as well. All right. Same thing, missing a period. I'll go ahead and add this here. Tells me spell check is complete. I'll go ahead and press OK. And so there it is. I'm at 100. Now, we have different options. This is for formal writing. What if I wanted to run the editor for professional writing? Right? So this is best for general business communication. And it's telling me that it found 2 clarity refinements. So I'll click on here. Let's see what it offers me here. So it wants to use another similar word. So a synonym. So provides or supplies. It likes video supplies a powerful way. I can either ignore it or I can say, you know what? That does sound better. I'll go ahead and use that here. So it changes it to video supplies a powerful way to help you prove your point. The next one, same thing, supplies. Right? Word supplies instead of provides. And there we go. And I'm at 97. Let's see what else it found. Didn't find anything. Sometimes it takes a little while to actually refresh. There we go. It's at 100. And what about casual writing? Okay, looks like I'm all good to go for casual writing. So this is a really nice tool to be able to use. You already notice as you're typing or adding text to your document, it's running the spell checker in real time. So if I type a word that's typed incorrectly, it's automatically going to give me the correction here as well. So if I say save my document by, right, doesn't like that word. So right here gives me the suggestion in real time, pressing F12. Let's go ahead and save our document. A couple of different ways we can do that. We can press F12. We can use Control plus S. And we can also do it the traditional way. Click on File and click on Save As. If you press F12, what I like about that is it opens up the folder structure on your computer. And this gives me more capability in terms of where I want to save this. Right? So if I want to go ahead and save this to my desktop, I can go ahead and do that. Give it a quick title. And that's it. I'm saved. If I'm syncing to my OneDrive, I can go ahead and open up my OneDrive folder and save it in my OneDrive here as well. If we press Control S, because I'm logged in to my Microsoft account, it wants to save it to my OneDrive. Okay. So that's another option here as well. If I go to the File tab and click on Save As, this kind of gives me a combination of everything here, right? So I can save it to my OneDrive, I can save it to my SharePoint, I can save it either locally or online. So it's really up to you. For now, I don't want to save it online. I just want to save it to my desktop. So I'll press F12, I'll click on desktop, and I'll just say module 1 completed. Press save. And I'm good to go. So now, if I make some changes to my document, Now all I need to do is press Control S. It's just going to automatically save it or overwrite the actual file. We don't get that pop-up window. It only appears the first time you press Control S. It's the same thing as clicking on the Save command right here on the actual ribbon. And notice when you click on it, it actually says Control plus S to actually save the document. Go ahead and save your document and get ready for Module 2. Well, hopefully you enjoyed Module 1. We covered all the essentials that we need to be able to create and proof and save a Word document. Here's a quick recap. We took a look at getting started with the start screen, the ribbon interface. We're able to add and format text, able to create and manage lists. We're able to take a look at some of the proofing tools that are available. Now for Module 2, we'll talk about working with text boxes, working with images and shapes, adjusting the page appearance, and converting to other formats as well. Go ahead and open up the exercise file that says Practice File Word Module 2 and come right back. We'll dive in. Welcome back. So here's what we'll do for Lesson 1. It's all about integrating text boxes. Now I want to go ahead and insert a text box. So I'll break away from this list by pressing Enter a few times here until I get rid of the bullets here. And to insert a text box, we'll click on the Insert tab. And over on the Insert tab, in the Text command group, we have a gallery of text boxes to choose from. Now we can either insert a simple text box and add our own content, or we can insert a pre-formatted text box. Let's take a look at the gallery, take a look at some here. So here's a simple text box, which is what we want to insert. So it's a simple text box with default formatting. The next one here is the Austin quote. So it has bold lines at the top and the bottom. Here's banded quote. So we have some shading in there as well. Facet quote, a little accent graphic on the top left there. Now if we scroll down, there's different types that we can use. Some of different colors, orientations, alignments. Here's a simple quote, one of my favorite, rounded rectangle. So these text boxes are a really great way to improve the look and feel of your document. They come with their own formatting inside of the text box. So you can insert a text box, make it as big or small as you want, add your content and your formatting in there. I'm going to add a simple text box. And here is my text box. And it's telling us grab our reader's attention with a great quote or use this to emphasize a key point. So if you want to move it, we can drag it. So this is an object. There's lots of different objects that we can insert into Microsoft Word. We have text boxes, images, shapes, charts, tables, which we'll cover. So the main thing to note about these different objects when you insert them, you want to take a look at your ribbon and you'll notice that we have what's called a Contextual tab. Before we explore the Contextual tab, I'm just going to go ahead and add some text in here. Okay. So I'll say, look out for the Contextual tab. And format the text box with the tools provided. So here's my text box. So if you notice, I'm interacting with my text box. So again, this is an object. Because it's an object, if you take a look at the ribbon, we get a bonus ribbon tab here that's called Shape Format. If I click away from my text box, it goes away because it's contextual or conditional, right? It's on demand. It only appears when you're interacting with the object. So if I click here, my shape format appears. Once I click on shape format, I can do things like apply a shape style. I can apply some text formatting by using word art and some other things that I can do. I can resize the text box. I can also use some alignment here as well. So these contextual tabs are a big, really big deal in Microsoft Word. when you're interacting with an object, it gives you all the tools that you need to be able to modify them and make them look really, really nice as well. Notice right now we can kind of move this around. So how does it interact with the text that's around it? If I move it up, notice how it's kind of like pushing my text out of the way. In this case, it's pushing my text to the right. And you may not like that behavior. Well, when you insert an object, there's different layout options. Take a look right over here. We have the layout options. To the top right, have this little button here. We also can interact with the wrap text command drop down under the arrange command group. But I'll keep it simple here. I'll click here under layout options, and this will determine how our text box interacts with the text around it. So right now, it's a square. So basically, the text will surround our text box in the form of a square. So let's see, if I move this like here, we can see it's forming a square around my text box. So text on the left, text on the right. If you like that, then that's perfectly fine. Let's choose another option. I like to use the top and bottom option because this one always ensures that the text is either on the bottom or the top of my text box. So in other words, my text box will be on a line all by itself. So now if I do this, instead of distorting my text to the left or the right, it just makes sure that it's either on its own line, on the top or the bottom of my text box. So just go ahead and change that. This is my preferred option, unless I want to put something next to it here. Right? If you choose in line with text, this is the most problematic one. Notice it's very difficult to move it around when you do that. So for now, I'll just do top and bottom. And I'll move it down here. And let's just go ahead and explore some of the options here for shape format. If I click on shape format, here are some styles that I can apply to it. I'm going to move it over to the right so we can see the preview here. And simple outline, blue outline. And there's different styles. So these are all theme styles. I can make it green with a white text. Right? So this has a black outline. The next row just has a fill color. We have different shades. And as we go down towards the bottom, we get more of a glossy and a shadowy type of format here as well. We have some presets on the bottom. So some transparencies are in here as well. And some more intense gradients here as well. I'm going to go ahead and make my text box a little wider here. Just like that. And I'll give it a nice little blue style here as well. The other thing that I can do is give it a shape effect. So there's a lot of shape effects that are available. Here's some presets. So this one, preset 1, gives a nice little bevel design with a white outline. So it looks really, really nice. So we can either use a preset or we have shadows. Now, when you're working with these shapes and styles, you pretty much either choose a shape style or a shape effect. They tend to cancel each other out. So go ahead and try them all. See which one you like. Here are the different presets. They get more intense as you go towards the bottom here. Different orientations, so forth and so on. We have shadows. We have reflections. We have glow. So an exterior glow that we can use. We have soft edges. And we have different bevels that we can use here as well. I'll stick with this particular format. That looks pretty good. And then I'll go ahead and move it down here so I can go ahead and take a look at it. Go ahead and insert a text box. Click on that shape format tab and go ahead and play around with the different options. Go ahead and apply a style. Take a look at the shape effects. You can even go ahead and apply some word art to there if you want to as well, and come right back. Welcome back. So those are the basics of integrating text boxes. Let's move on down to lesson number 2. We'll talk about integrating shapes. Now I'll do the same thing. I'll go down a few lines here and I'll add maybe a shape or two. We'll use this space to insert some shapes, and just like our text box above, we want to make sure that we locate the Shape Format tab so that we can format our shapes here as well. Inserting shapes into your Word document is a really nice way to kind of create a simple infographic. We can type on shapes after we insert them. So really nice. I'll click on the Insert tab, and on the Insert tab, I'll head on over to the Illustrations command group, and here we have shapes. I'll click on the drop down here. Let's take a look at the library of the different shapes that are available. We have recently used, and we have lines, arrows, squiggly lines. We have different types of rectangles, rounded corners. We have some basic shapes. And look at this, a text box is a basic shape. We have smiley faces, hearts, lightning bolts, brackets, arrows, equation shapes, flowchart shapes. Lots of different things that we can use here. We have callouts, which are pretty cool. Speech bubbles. I'm just going to insert a basic shape here. I'll go with a rounded corner rectangle. So I'll click here. We get the drawing tool. Now I just need to go ahead and draw it. I can make it as big as I want to. I'll make it about this big. And as expected, we get the shape format. So now we can go ahead and choose a shape style. We can choose a shape effect. Other things we can do as well, shape outline. We can even choose our own shape fill if we want to. But right now, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and type on here. Right? And I'll just say, I can type shape. So combining text with a visual. And there we go. So that's one of the really nice benefits. We don't have to go searching for infographics. We can create a simple infographic here as well. Now, when we add text to a text box or a shape, we can also manage we can apply font and paragraph commands there as well. So if I highlight my text here inside of my box, I can do something like change the color. Don't really want to do that here though, because we're going to need some contrasting colors. This gold doesn't look too bad in there. I'll make that text gold. I'll increase the font size to 14. I'll change the font to Georgia. There we go. So we can actually modify the shape by making it our own. We can put our own fill color in there if we want to. All right, so we can do something like that. Good contrast. Or I can go ahead and choose an existing style. Let's see what shape effects I can use here. Maybe I want to give it a nice shadow. And maybe I'll give it a bevel. Look at that. That looks pretty good. And I can resize this as well. So if I resize it, I can now increase the font size. Let's see how this interacts with the text. Look at that. So I'm moving this, and this one is in front of text. So another option here. So now I can kind of place this wherever I want to. Right? So again, it all depends on what layout option you choose. Right? If I want to use top and bottom, it splits my text to top and bottom, or I can choose behind text. So it does that, goes behind as well. I'm going to leave it as in front of text and put it right here as well. So those are the basics here. What if you like this particular graphic that you just created? Well, we can duplicate this. And I'll just say duplicate. Let me make this bigger so I can see my text here. So to duplicate an object, you're going to press Control D. Control plus D, that will duplicate an object. So I'll make sure to click on the border here of my shape, not on the inside. I want to click on the border. And if I press Control D on my keyboard, that duplicates that shape for me. Exact replica of that. I'm going to go ahead and make these both smaller. Let's see. I'll click on the shape format here. And now I can see the size, the dimensions. So it's 1.3 high, 3.5 wide. I want to make sure that the other one here has the same dimensions as well. So this was 3.15. So let's make this 3.15. I can actually type it in here if I want to. So now they're both the same size. So pretty cool. And there we go. So that's how we add shapes to our document. I'm going to insert one more. I'll put a simple shape. Put a little oval here. I'll draw it here. Now I'll just put a number 1 on here. Indicating maybe the first step in the process. Increase the font size. That's step 1. Now I'll duplicate this one. And this is step 2. So shapes and text boxes, really nice way to kind of just add a little flair to your document as well. Go ahead and insert a few shapes, insert as many as you want to. Try out the different ones that are available. Try some of the stars and banners, some of the callouts. Play around with the Shape Format tab and come right back. So integrating text boxes and shapes, a really nice way to improve the look and feel of your document. I'm going to go down to lesson 3, which talks about integrating images. We all love to work with images. We all like to insert them, give us a nice flair to our document here as well. So just as before, I'm going to go ahead and click on the Insert tab. And this time I'm going to go ahead and insert a picture. Now there's different types of pictures that we can actually insert. I'm going to go ahead and make some space here to insert a picture. Now we have different options under the illustration command group for pictures. Let's click on the drop down and let's see what options are available when we are integrating pictures. So we have 3 options. We can either upload an image or a picture from our computer or our device. The next option is the stock image. So we have access to premium content from Microsoft's stock image library. And then we also have online pictures. So online pictures basically will be surfing the Bing web search looking for pictures. Kind of the same thing as opening Bing on your Microsoft Edge and searching for a picture. So we'll have access to more pictures using Bing, right? So this gives us access to more pictures, but we do have some issues. We may have some copyright issues that we need to be careful with here as well. And then we have stock images. So stock images, we have fewer to choose from, but we can use the pictures with permission. And of course, from your device, if you own the picture, then that's the best option. You don't have to worry about copyright issues, right? Because you own the picture. So let's go ahead and take a look at a few here. I'm going to go ahead and I'll insert at least 2. I want to insert one from the Microsoft stock. I'll click on Insert here, and I'll click on Stock Images. So here is Microsoft stock. Now, before I start diving in here, I can search for either images, icons, cutout people, stickers, illustrations, cartoon people here. Let's just kind of preview the different ones that are available. So images, these are the stock images. I can type in the search term in here. So let's say maybe a work team. And it gives me different results for work team. I can scroll down and I'm good to go. Right? Down here it tells me, as a Microsoft 365 subscriber, I have access to the full library of creative content. Right? If I click on icons here, now I really like to use icons. There's pretty much an icon for everything. So if I want an icon regarding, let's say, team, here we get some different icons that represents team, either a literal team or some team sports or hands, right? So it's a good option when you don't want to show people's faces and you just want a little graphic that indicates a team, right? Maybe something regarding communication, right? So really nice option. So if you integrate icons with your text, then you can really send a really nice message here as well. We have cutout people. Okay, so right now we're just touring. So here's cutout people, and we can scroll down, different reactions. Okay, so really nice to be able to use here as well. We have stickers. We all love stickers, we can use those. We have illustrations. Several illustrations here to use. And finally, we have cartoon people. So again, another really nice way. You don't want to use actual people. You can use these cartoon graphics here as well. Lots of different ways to express by using a cartoon graphic as well. So these are the stock. Let's take a look at the other option. So again, it's a good option. You can use those without having any copyright issues. If I click on online pictures, so we'll notice it's powered by Bing. So if I search for, let's say, work team, and press enter, now we're searching the web, not just the Microsoft library. We're searching the Bing web search results. So we get more in terms of pictures that are available, right? Not as high quality as the Microsoft stock, but we get more content here as well. Now we just have to be cognizant, by default, when we're searching, we are using the Creative Commons, right? So the Creative Commons, the professional has placed their creative work in the Creative Commons so that we can reuse it, right? If I uncheck this, you'll notice that we'll have way more options available, but we don't have permission to use all of these images here. So even though we have access to more, we want to make sure that we're staying in the Creative Commons, unless we get direct permission from the creator of the content. The other thing to mention here is we can narrow it down to see what type of picture we're looking for. I can make this dialog box bigger. You'll notice we have a filter right here. And if I click on there, it allows me to do a couple of different things. So I can specify the size, right? So maybe I want large pictures. I can specify the type of pictures that I want. Maybe I just want photographs. And finally, I can choose the layout as well. Maybe I want pictures that have a widescreen orientation as opposed to a portrait, square, or tall, right? And down here, if I scroll down a little more, we have color. Let's see. So different colors, kind of hard to see it right now here as well, right? We get a big reminder that we are responsible for respecting others' rights, including copyright. So we can click Learn More here to make sure that we're being compliant, especially if we're sharing images in a public space, right? So go ahead and click on the Insert tab. Go ahead and just explore the stock image library and the online pictures. Go ahead and check out some of the filters and come right back. Now that we've previewed the stock images in the online gallery, let's go ahead and insert a stock image. So I'll look for a work team, and I'll go ahead and grab this picture here. So I'll grab this picture, I'll go ahead and click on Insert, and it inserts that picture onto my Word document. Now, it inserted the picture, really nicely here. It doesn't always do that. Sometimes when it inserts the picture, it's more like this, right? The picture is so big that you can't really manage it So that will happen sometimes. It does not always insert perfectly onto your page. Well, remember, this is an object. So how do we fix this issue? Well, we need to go ahead and locate the Picture Format tab. And from there, we can head on over to the Size command group. And the first thing we can do is just make sure to resize it so that it fits on our canvas, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and decrease the width here until it fits on my canvas. And this is the behavior of pictures. They kind of jump all over your document here. So I'll just go ahead and resize it this way. Now the way that I just resized it, that's the safe way, right? So when you're resizing a picture, that's one of the first things that you may need to do after you insert a picture is resize it. So what you want to do, you can use one of the resize options here. If you resize the height or the width, it still maintains the aspect ratio of the picture, right? So that is good to do. So I'll put some X's here and I'll put some checks. So yes, you can use that resize tool. You do not want to use these resize handles for your picture. If you use one of these resize handles, that is going to distort your picture. You want to use one of the corner resize handles. Okay. But do not use these here as well. I'll give you an example. If I use the resize handle here on the right, notice how it's smushing my picture. We don't want to do that. If I use the one on the top, same thing. It's flattening my picture. Don't want to do that. What you want to do is use one of the corner resize handles. You'll notice that it does either decrease or increase the size of the picture, but we're maintaining the aspect ratio. Right. Now, I made some changes here. I want to reset the picture back to its original state. So one of the tools is under Picture Format is the Reset Picture. So I'll go ahead and reset that to its original dimensions. I'll say Reset Picture and Size. There we go. So 3.6 by 5.89. So again, a good first step is just resizing your picture. Now that we have it resized, we have a lot of things we can do here under Picture Format. We have adjustments that we can make. We can remove the background, we can correct it, recolor it, apply artistic effects, adjust the transparency, and we also have picture styles. We also have the cropping tool. So lots of things that we can do. And remember our friend here, the layout options. We need to determine how we want the picture to interact with the text that's around it. Well, let's go ahead and take care of that first. Let's see, if I try and move my picture, it's kind of anchored to the text that's around it right now. So for me to move this, it's going to have to anchor it to another chunk of text. Well, I don't want that. So the first thing I need to do is choose the layout options. Now, when you insert a picture, it comes with inline with text, and that's why it makes it difficult to move. It's anchored to that location and that text on the actual document. So just change it with any of the other options here, and you'll notice you'll be able to move the picture freely. If I click on square, my text will form a square around the picture. Again, if I choose top and bottom, the text will either be on the top or the bottom of my picture. Again, this is my preference. I prefer to just use the top and bottom feature here as well. Let's take a look at a few tools. So here are the different styles. So here's a simple frame, right? Here's a beveled frame. Here's a metal frame. That looks pretty nice. Really nice, actually. Simple drop shadow rectangle. Here is a reflected rounded rectangle. So what I want you to do, go ahead and insert a picture. Go ahead and resize it to your liking. Change the layout option. Then I want you to go ahead and choose all of the picture styles. Go ahead and choose all of them. You can always reset your picture I like this one. This is the bevel rectangle, very modern looking. And we also have, I also like this one, reflected bevel black. So it looks very nice and classy as well. Go ahead and insert your picture, resize it, change the layout options, and go ahead and apply a picture style. I want you to use all of them so you'll be familiar with what you want to use in the future. And come right back. Welcome back. Well, hopefully you had fun taking a look at the different picture styles here. I went with a simple frame. Sometimes it's just best to go with a simple frame when you can't find what you're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and resize this here, make a little room. And let's go ahead and insert another picture. We'll take a look at some more tools that are available. So this time I'll insert a online picture. And I'll look for something related to learning. I'll press enter. I want to make sure I stay in the Creative Commons. And let's see, not a lot of options here. So maybe I'll look for something else. Put on team, press enter. Okay, work team. Here we go. I'll go ahead and grab this picture here. That looks pretty nice. Now you can insert multiple pictures if you want to. So if I want to insert this picture and that one, I can do that. So I can insert more than one if I want to. But I'll just insert one picture here. And my picture inserted. Here it is. Now because I'm inserting an online picture, it inserts it wants to give authorship to the owner. So it comes in with the caption here as well. So here's my picture. Going to click away from it and then click on it again. And I'll resize it a little bit here. Okay. Now, as it grows, it wants to go off the page. So it's trying to go down to the next page. So what I'll do is I'll resize this one. Give me a little more room to work with. And I'll scroll down here. I'm good to go. Well, let's go ahead and crop this. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and remove some of the left part of this picture and some of the right part here as well. Right? Maybe I just don't want too much detail. The cropping tool allows you also to change the orientation of the picture. So I can make this more square than it is wide by removing the sides as well. So I'll click on the picture format. And here is my cropping tool. So I'll click on the top half here of the cropping tool. Now I'm in cropping mode. I can see that I have the cropping handles here, those black handles on the top, bottom, left, right, and the corners here as well. So how this works is I want to go ahead and crop it from the right. So I just want to move in to about there. So I'm basically cutting out parts of the picture like that. And that's it. If I want to cut off maybe a little bit of the top, I can do that as well. So we're just kind of like drawing a picture inside of the picture. So we're cutting out this part of the picture. That's what the cropping tool does. And there we go. And I'm done. I can make adjustments, change my mind if I want to. I can also drag the picture like this inside of the frame if I want to get exactly what I want. So different things that we can do. I want it to be right about there. And I'm done. Once I'm done, I'll just click an empty space on the canvas here. And just like that, my picture is cropped. I'll click on the picture format here. And I can give it a quick style, but let's take a look at some of the corrections here that I can use. So just sharpen or soften the picture. We can see the effects in real time. Here's the preview. We can adjust the brightness or the contrast. We can recolor the picture. Give it a different color tone. right? Make it softer or warmer. You can make it like a black and white. We can recolor it. So a lot of the tools that you'll find on your phone camera, you'll notice you'll be able to apply them here to this picture here as well. We have artistic effects. So if you want to give it more of a marker feel, we can do that. All right, here's a plastic wrap. Looks pretty cool. All right, here's a light screen. Here's a pencil grayscale. So lots of different things that we can do. Let's see, transparency. We can adjust the transparency. So this is helpful if you want to maybe overlay text on it. But I find it better to just add a good contrast and color for the text. Right, so we can do that as well. All right, very good. So I've inserted the picture, I've cropped it. I'm gonna go ahead and add a style to it. Just a nice basic style. Maybe I'll put this one in a, see how this looks in an oval. It's disappearing on me. Here's a modern shape, this rounded diagonal corner white. Go ahead and use that. And I am good to go. So pretty nice looking picture here as well. Now remember, if you made a lot of changes to your picture, we can always reset the picture by clicking on Picture Format and use the Reset Picture command. Reset the picture discards all the formatting. Resetting the picture and the size puts everything back to the original state here as well. So pretty nice to be able to do that. Remember, our picture also comes with effects, just like our text boxes and our shapes. So here are different presets that we can use as well. So go ahead and crop your picture. Go ahead and apply a style to it or add a picture effect and come right back. Welcome back. So we worked with several objects here. Now let's talk about lesson 4. We'll talk about page appearance basics. Now, there may be some things that we want to do, like change the paper size, change the orientation. We can accomplish this by clicking on the Layout tab. So I'll click on the Layout tab here, and maybe I want to go ahead and do things like change the margins. Maybe I want to go ahead and change the orientation and the paper size. So let's take a look at those different options here as well. So right now, if I click on the page size is letter. So your typical 8.5 by 11. Now, what if I wanted to make things a little bigger? Maybe I wanted to make it legal. So right now I'm on 3 pages. If I click on legal, because I'm using bigger pages, now I have 2 pages. So now my content fits on 2 pages as opposed to 3 pages. Let's go to the top of the document and see what that looks like. To go to the top, I'll press Control Home. That brings me to the top of my document here. Quick shortcut. So here's page 1. We have lesson 1 on there. We also have lesson 2. And then we have lesson 3 here, kind of in the middle of, right? Kind of like a little bit on page 1, a little bit on page 2. So what I can do is if I wanted to move this down to another page, I can either press enter a few times and it will move it down, or I can insert a page break. Right? So here is a simple page break. So I can mark the point at which one page ends and the next page begins. I can also use a shortcut for that. I can press Control plus enter, and that will actually insert a page break. So basically, I want to go ahead and move this chunk down to the top of my next page. Right? Because it's missing. My picture, it's kind of divided right now. So I'll press Control Enter on my keyboard. And notice how that moved it down to the next page for me. Now I have a little more room to work with my images and so forth and so on. I'm going to undo that. I'll click on the undo button here. And let's insert the break the other way. So here's the breaks from the Layout tab, and I'll just insert a page break. So it does the same thing. The shortcut and the command does the same thing. I'm going to undo that one more time. And we can also insert a page break. So from the Insert tab, we can click on Page Break. So 3 different ways to do it. They all do the same thing. So Control Enter, or Insert Page Break, or from the Layout tab, click on the breaks and insert a page break as well. Nice way to kind of organize your document here as well. Now we have some other things here. So we have margins. So we have margins of those invisible space here where you're not allowed to type or add content to the left, to the right. So these are the margins. So right now, if I decrease the margin size, I want to reclaim some more of this room here so I can utilize more of my content. So if I click on margins, right now it's 1 inch by 1 inch on the top, left, the bottom, and the right. I'll use the narrow margins. And as you can see, we're using up more of the space on the left and the right. So now I can fit more of my content. You'll notice that now I'm back to 2 pages because I'm using more of my content here as well. So just a quick tip. If you want to, you can either increase the paper size and decrease the margins to be able to utilize more space. You can also decrease the paragraph spacing there as well. So lots of different things that we can do. I'm going to go to the end of my document. I'll press Control End. So that's how we change the paper size. That's how we insert a page break. What if I have some really big pictures on here? I'm going to increase the size of these pictures. And I want to use maybe the landscape orientation. Not sure what happened here. My picture is not refreshing. Okay. I may need to change my display settings for best appearance, but I'll fix that later. So what I can do is I can change the orientation. So right now it's more of a horizontal orientation, it's portrait. If I want to make this more landscape, so notice how it increases the width, it's using up more of the width here. And now I can go ahead and really make my pictures wide, make them really wide now because I'm using the landscape orientation. So that will be a benefit of using the landscape. I'm going to put the paper size back to 8.5 by 11. All right, so here's my landscape. I can put big pictures in there now. I'm good to go. So when it comes to orientation, it's either landscape or portrait. I'll put this back to portrait. And I'm going to have to resize my picture here. Make sure it fits nicely on my page. Right, very good. So that's how we do that. Other things to discuss here. Let's go ahead and insert a built-in header and footer. But before we do that, go ahead and click on the Layout tab. Go ahead and change the paper size, margins, orientation. Go ahead and insert a page break as well. And come right back. Let's go ahead and insert a header and a footer. Now, the header, basically, there's a reserved space at the top of each page, and this is the header space. Notice that we cannot type any text here. We can only apply text after that. So that's pretty much reserved for our header. Header are things like page numbers, the name of the document, today's date, so forth and so on. And then on the bottom of every page, we have a space reserved for the footer. So it depends on what you want to be displayed on the bottom of every document here as well. Now to insert a header and a footer, there's several ways that we can do it. We'll do it the traditional way. Let's go back to the top of our document. So I'll press Control Home to go back to the top here. And I'll go ahead and click on the Insert tab. And when I click on the Insert tab, I'll notice that we have a header and footer command group right here. And we can use a built-in header. And we can choose from a built-in footer. We can actually customize the header area, put whatever we want in there, maybe an image or an icon or a table, but we'll keep it simple. We'll just insert one of the built-in headers here. So I'll go ahead and click on the header dropdown, and here are the different built-in ones. So here's a blank header, allows us to type whatever we want to. Here's a blank header with 3 columns. If I scroll down, so we have page numbers on the left, page numbers on the right. We have the document title. And if I keep scrolling down here, right? So lots of different colors, graphics, accents, shapes that are applied here as well. I think what I want the document title. So I'll choose banded here. Okay. And I have to put the document title in here. Now what's going to happen is once I type the document title here, it is going to apply that same header to all of my pages. So we can see on page 2, we have the placeholder there. So I'll go ahead and type the document title here. Sometimes it will pick up the document title and place it in here based on the properties of the document. I'll just call this one MS Word Module 2. And that's it. I'll close the header and footer. Now at the top of every page, I can see that I'll have that same header, right? So the name of the document. So when we print this or export this to a PDF, on the top of each page, we'll see that header there as well. Let's go ahead and insert a footer to show the page number that we're working on. So I'll click on Insert. This time I'll click on Footer, and I'll choose a footer that has a page number. I'll go with banded as well. So it's going to center the page number based on the theme color that we've selected. And there we go. So there is our footer. We'll go ahead and click on Close Header and Footer, and let's preview our document. We can see page 1. Here's a number 1. Page 2. Page 3, and so forth and so on. Right? So that's how that works. Let's do a few more things. Let's change the page color and border, and then we'll take a look at this in Print Preview to see what it looks like. Let's click on the Design tab here. And on the Design tab, all the way to the far right is where we can change the page color and the page border as well. These are for more, professional documents. Let's go ahead and add a page color. So I can add a page color here. I can give it different colors if I want to. Right. I'll give it a simple color. I'll give it this gold accent 4. Go ahead and add that color there. Right. And so we can see here is our page color. Now I can add a page border if I want to. Well, that's pretty much with the page color. Choose a standard color. Or if I have more colors, I can choose a color here from the color palette, or I can enter the actual color code if I have it. Add a page border. Different types of borders that I can add. I want a box around my document. So I'll choose a box. Here's the preview of what it would look like. I'll go ahead and give it a color, and I'll choose how thick I want the line to be as well. So I'm choosing a box. I'm going to give it a blue color. And for the width, I'll make that 1 point. And I'll go ahead and click OK. So there's other things that we can do. There's art, some of the old legacy art collection here from Microsoft's internal library that we can use. I'll go ahead and press OK. And all of my pages will have this basic orientation here as well. Right. So that's how we can make that happen here. Scroll down, we can see it applies to all of our pages. We have a color and we have a border. Move my picture inside here. Right. And that's it. So the last thing to do, let's go ahead and save our document. press F12, and I'll save this to my desktop. Say Word Module 2, completed. All right. So now let's go ahead and enter a print preview. I'm going to move this up a little bit. Just going to press delete a few times to move lesson 4 up. And all right, so print preview, we'll press Control plus P. So let's press Control P, go to print preview, and here's our print preview. So the print preview is very important. Even though we're not printing, if we were to export this Word document to a PDF, this is what it would look like. So it's necessary to preview the print options. Make sure everything looks the way that you want to. So we can see there's nothing on page 2. So I can either delete that page or I can skip that page from the printout. Right, I'm good to go. Right. So I don't want to print all pages. I want to print custom print. So I'll say page 1, 3, and 4. Like that. And let's see. It's still showing page 2. Let's say 1 and 3 to 4. Okay, it's not responding. I'm going to go ahead and remove page 2. So the best way to do that, you can't really delete a page in Word. So I'll just come here and I'll just press the delete key a few times. And that will move up my content from the next page. So here's page 1, page 2, and page 3. Right. So I'll press Control P. And now I can see what the different pages look like. And I'm good to go. I would move the picture up a little bit, but I'll keep it simple just for the sake of time. Right. So I'll say I'll print all pages and I'll leave everything as is. So notice here we have the capability as well to specify the orientation, the size, and the margins, just like on the page layout tab. If we click on page setup, we can also do some other things in here as well. Right. So we're good to go. So it looks good. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and click on the export tab and export this to a PDF. So I'll click on export, and here's the create PDF option. I'll click on create PDF. Here I can just go ahead and publish this. This will convert this to a PDF for me and will look really nice. We'll preserve all the colors and the graphics in here. If I click on publish, it will create the PDF and open it for me right away. I can also click on options here. Maybe I don't want to print all the pages. Right? Maybe I want to create bookmarks, so forth and so on. Go ahead and publish it. And it opens up a PDF for me. Now, why would you want to convert it to a PDF? Maybe your recipient does not have an Office 365 subscription and they want to, so you can send it to a PDF. A PDF can be open in modern browsers such as Edge, Chrome, Firefox, and Brave. So we're good to go. Right. So very good. Go ahead and change the page color, add a page border, and go ahead and check out the print preview and export it to a PDF and come right back and we'll wrap up. Well, that completes our Word introduction course. Congratulations on completing it here. Just as a quick recap, we were able to navigate the Word interface. We're able to add and format text with different commands. We're able to create and manage lists. We used the proofing tools, really nice tool to use before you deliver your document. Then we were able to insert and manage text boxes, insert and manage images and shapes. Again, when you're working with objects, make sure to look out for the contextual tab that appears that allows us to manage those particular objects. We're able to adjust the page appearance by inserting headers and footers, changing the page color, adding a border, inserting page breaks as well. And then we're able to convert to other formats, specifically a PDF. So congrats on completing the course, and I look forward to seeing you in a future training course.